Thank you. Welcome, everybody.
Hi.
How are you all today?
Good.
Great. We are missing one board member. Jean Johnson has been ill and will not be with us. So, and we are reminded that this is an open meeting, and we have to follow the open meeting law, just as it is in your manuals. And we have the current version, so just be aware of that. We do have a quorum. Even though Jean is not here, we're fine and we're good to go. So as a board member or any of you have any announcements? Well, I'm going to make a big announcement because, and I'm going to introduce Liz Tretiak, correct?
Correct.
Thank you.
Got it.
And Liz, for all of you out there watching on TV, Liz is our new Elder and Human Services Director. Today's her first day.
Thank you.
We welcome you. We're very excited that you are here.
I'm very excited to be here.
Yeah. So we will, a little bit later on, talk about an event where people can come and meet Liz. And I just want to make sure that everybody knows that they need to stop down, and if they can't come when we are having an event to meet her, then stop down and see her and introduce yourself so she gets to know Littleton. We're a friendly group here in town. So, no other announcements? No?
I don't have much to say. I don't have a voice.
You're still struggling with the thing that's going around? But you look a lot better, Patty. So we're glad you're here. So, all right. Nobody else has an announcement? Well, we good today, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. In your packet, the first item you have, of course, is the minutes from our January 8th meeting. And I did, this time, finally get things out. I'm learning. It took me a while, but I got there. And the minutes were forwarded to you last week sometime so that you could read them ahead of time and be ready to hopefully make a motion, or if there is any discussion about them and if any corrections are needed. So.
Madam Chair,
Yes.
I move that we accept the minutes as printed.
I second.
All right. It has been moved and seconded that we accept the minutes as printed.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any further discussion? Nope.
Nope.
Then we will take a vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And I believe it's a unanimous vote. Thank you very much. All right. Anthony.
Pleasure to be here.
It is. It's a pleasure to have you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Not that,
It's even a greater pleasure to give up that chair and to welcome Liz to Littleton. Not that I won't be. I'll stop in your meetings. But now we have our full-time director, so that's great. Very excited. I think Liz is going to be a tremendous asset to the town, and she's going to fit into our team real nicely. So this is great. The other thing was, the website, just so people at home and here. So we've spent a lot of time in updating our website, and there's the ability to sign up for different alerts. So like the Board of Selectmen, if you click on that box when you go to the website, so when we upload any information like the agenda or the packets, you'll get an email notification that something's just been uploaded, so you can take a look and see what's on the Selectmen's agenda. I set Marge up on it last week.
it's great. It is great.
Yeah.
You'll have to show me.
Well, he did it for me, but I did go on and look after I got home that
Yeah,
day.
you
It's pretty
basically just put in
easy.
your email address and you'll get alerts.
Okay.
And then if you're really ambitious, you can follow us on social media, Facebook and Twitter. Do you have any tweeters in the room?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, all right. Well, we're there. We have a social media presence too. So it is a great way to see what's going on in town. So take a look at the website, play along. If anybody has any questions, I'm sure myself or even Liz will be able to help you and show you how to do that, or Jamie. Also, you know, this, I don't know if this may be Jamie's last meeting or may not, we'll have to see, but I just want to thank Jamie for really stepping up and coming aboard and helping us get through this transition until we got Liz. So Jamie's been a tremendous asset to
Absolutely.
us. Great knowledge that she had with the town of Needham. We were very fortunate to get somebody with her experience to come in and help us, and I'm really excited that Liz is going to have an opportunity to work with Jamie for the next 30 days to bring Liz up to speed and try to get all that knowledge out of Jamie, which I don't think we'll do in 30 days, but I know she's a phone call away to help us.
It's
So,
been a pleasure.
Yeah,
It really
thank
has
you.
been a pleasure. Thank you.
And I'd like to echo that too. It has been a real pleasure. I'm from this side of the ball here. It's been wonderful. So it was a nice fresh breath of air when you arrived.
Thank
So
you.
it
Was it
was.
when I was here?
Well, I didn't get to meet you for a while. You
Oh,
know.
okay.
It took me a while to figure out, you know, and to really get to know you. Now I know you.
Nancy, right?
I have a question for Anthony.
Okay.
What are you gonna do with all your free time?
I wish I had free time. We have a lot going on in town, so.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm pretty booked, but always have time for the seniors. If not, the selectmen will let me know. Make sure I always take care of the seniors, so.
Okay. Anything else? Any other questions for Anthony? He'll come visit us once in a while, I'm sure.
Absolutely.
He's only next door.
That's right, open door policy, anytime you want to stop in.
All right. Moving on. Thank you for all your help, by the way. I need to acknowledge that. You've been a great help to me. Diane Dickerson has been,
Yes.
the whole office has been, people have been really supportive, and if I needed anything, it was always just, you're good to go.
It's our pleasure, that's what we're here for.
Yep. Nancy, are you representing the Friends at the table today?
Am.
Whoa.
Wow.
Come forward.
And Barbara McRae and Nancy Levine.
She is the Friends.
Thank you. Barbara apologizes for not being able to be here today.
That's all right.
And we thank you too for all your help.
Thank you.
And Anthony, a little.
You almost
Morning,
got him.
Nancy, I almost spit it all over
You
Jamie.
caught him good.
That was good, yeah. Poor Jamie, you want to get soaked?
Barbara wanted me to tell you about the events we've had. The New Year's party was just great. We had 100 people come.
Yeah.
And the music was just wonderful. Tomorrow is our Valentine luncheon.
Wednesday.
Sorry, Wednesday. Thank you, Marge. Is Wednesday. It's Ash Wednesday, so the chili that we're having is going to be vegetarian chili because it is Ash Wednesday and many can't eat meat. The food is being prepared by the Tech, including salad and dessert, and that event is also free. We have 100 people signed up. The next one is St. Patrick's Day next month. I don't have the date, but I believe you have it in your in the list we gave you.
Yeah.
That is being catered by Neshoba Valley Technical High School. And they're going to have a full-fledged corned beef and cabbage, the works. And this, all the events are free except for this one. This is going to cost $5 to be paid at the door. In April, the high school is having their annual spaghetti luncheon. And the date will be announced in about 2 weeks. It's just too early to announce it now. But Dorothy Malone and I have been working very hard on this. And then a special message for you all from Barbara McRae is the Follies is returning.
Whoa!
And that's why she's not here today, because she's working on the Follies.
Okay.
I will be in it, but it's a little disappointing to you all that I'm not going to be a star this time.
Oh, my goodness. You're not going to be an angel?
Well, thank you, but I'm not going to be the star.
But to the public, I think you should really explain the Follies. Some people out there might not, and Anthony doesn't know anything. You have to attend the Follies.
I can't wait.
Oh, my gosh.
Well,
Well-
the Follies in the past have been about angels and them getting into trouble. There will be no angels this time.
Oh.
Oh.
I know.
Just devils?
Can't find any, huh? Very good.
But
Now-
it's generally, I'm sure, it's a very talented group of people that perform, and it generally is very light-hearted and a lot of laughing. It's
It's not
just,
going to be a live performance this year, though.
it's not.
Dottie, that's it. No more. It's just going to be, this is going to be different.
Okay, but it
Okay.
still will be good, I'm sure.
It'll still be good. It'll be
Yep.
very good.
I'm sure.
But it's going to be very different. Different for us and different for you.
When is it going to occur?
In April. Oh, I think it's in April, but the date has not been
It's this
set.
spring, yeah, okay, that's fine.
All right, enough with Barbara McRae. Now it's Nancy Levine's turn.
Mm-hmm.
As you know, I've been involved a lot with the intergenerational programs. And Diana Anjurian is with the CCD classes. And she has made arrangements to do something with her group. Particularly, she wanted to do it with the social club. So I connected her to Anne Marie, and they're going to be working together as to what they can do with the social club.
How nice.
They were very specific as to what they wanted to do, so I think that's great. The third graders came and decorated for Valentine's Day, and that was Michelle Smith's class. And when I walked in to see the room, it was just beautiful, and we had a grandmother who was there with her granddaughter to help decorate, so that was wonderful. We also have the Daisy Girl Scouts, and they are 5 years old.
Oh, my gosh.
They made little, wasn't really little, Valentine bags, just loaded with stuff. And that went to the social club today. It went to Jamie and to Liz, and a lucky lady who was answering the phones today, because we had 12 bags.
Oh, wow.
Oh, that's nice.
And it really was just so cute. And the instructor was Melissa Luongo. Luongo. And they had a lot of fun going to the dollar store. When they discovered there was a dollar store, almost in Littleton, it was so exciting. So they had a lot of fun. As I told you earlier, the high school luncheon is next month, and the high school students will be there performing music, singing, serving, helping us to our cars. If it's raining, last year they had umbrellas, so that's pretty special. Then we have another group of Girl Scouts who are going to be doing some work on getting their bronze badge. And we are working with them to see what they can do. Because the bronze badge means that something that they accomplish has to be permanent. So it can't be like they made a bag of Valentines for us, which is still extremely important. This has to be permanent for them to get their bronze badge. So a lot of work is going on with that. And that teacher's name is Christine Oborski. Oborski, B-O-R-S-K-I. And then I was fortunate enough to connect the Conservation Trust and the Littleton Community Farms together with Nicole Lawrenson for articles to be put in the Broadcaster.
Nice.
When, for instance, the Littleton Community Gardens recently had lessons on how to tap trees for maple syrup. We didn't get it in the Broadcaster in time,
Yes.
but I connected them so that in the future, when events like this come up, it'll go in our Broadcaster. And they know already we have to receive it by the 10th of the month, the month before. The Conservation Trust in the late last year had a series of walks. They're now going to put things like that in our Broadcaster. For the time being, Nicole Lawrenson is going to be their contact person, but as we get more organized with the new director, that might switch to someone else. And that's my news of the day.
Thank you,
Wow.
Nancy.
Thank you, Nancy.
Lots of good news,
Lots
as
of
always, from the Friends. Before you leave, could you, normally, we get a copy of the Friends, the minutes of their meetings?
Oh, I didn't do it, yes.
That's okay, it's fine, because I forget things too, trust me. So, but when Nancy sends it to me, I'll forward it out to you all.
Okay.
All right, it's not in your packet, but I will do that. That's okay.
Nancy, would you want any of these to be in the Sun? Any of these activities? Because I have a list here of the contact person, if
I
you
have-
wanted it.
I have been contacting the Sun, but since we're at 100 already
Yes,
with our last,
okay.
to advertise it more, we're trying to have really just Littleton. Once in a while, we get someone from another town, but I really was thinking about them, but it's something we might, but we don't have room.
No, I meant for them to put it in.
Again, still?
Our space is limited.
We're working on it.
All right, his name is there.
Anthony's
If
going to
you need
give
him.
us good information about that, right?
Yes.
Sure.
No, but thanks for mentioning this. They did, I did get the Lowell Sun to come out, I think it was 2 or 3 years ago, where they did a big full-page spread, 2 full pages, on the Follies, because that was something that they hadn't experienced before. And yes, the only reason is because we can't go too far, have too many, because we are already turning people
I
away.
know, yeah, right.
But good suggestion, thank you.
You're welcome.
Actually, there's still some of the CDs of the Follies around, if anybody's interested and needs some entertainment sometime.
Yes, there is. Just
See?
ask Mark Corey.
Oh, there you go.
It's not free, though.
It's not free?
No. It's either $5 or $10.
Really? You gotta buy it? Oh.
I had to buy it. I was in it, I had to buy it.
Oh, it went for a good cause, Nancy. Thank you very much. Any questions for Nancy? Or Dottie's here too, so. No? And Barbara is busy. She did express to me her regrets that she could not be here. So, and we are minus Tina, who is not in today, and Nicole, who had to go home, so. All right, I'd like to ask for the board's indulgence. I have on the agenda, there's no old business, but actually, after I looked at it again and it was posted, I thought, oh, B, under new business, really is old business. So with your, okay, I will address that now, if you're okay with that. It really, the board vacancies it's been an ongoing issue and et cetera, so it really is old business. And I just wanted to explain to everyone that what happened after our last board meeting, and David was interviewed, and we anticipated that he and Ann Lee were going to be going, the selectmen would put them on their agenda prior to today. And then the same day, the same day as our meeting last month, I received a notice of another board applicant who had submitted an application. And we really needed to, give that person an opportunity to come before the board. And that was set up, and this individual was going to come before the board. I contacted them, sent them the job description, and just last week, just prior to our agenda getting posted, that person withdrew.
Was what?
Withdrew their application. So that's why I wanted to explain to David, and I did talk to Ann Lee Alice on the phone, and I did speak to Anthony right after that happened, and I do believe you're going to be on the selectmen's agenda, not tonight, but the next meeting.
26th.
The 26th it is. I didn't think the 28th sounded right. So the 26th, Monday night. Okay, David? Thank you for being patient with us. It's been a little bit of a...
Is that Ann Lee also?
Ann Lee will be there too, the two of you, yes. So, just wanted everybody to understand what had happened, so. All right, and that's what the update was all about. Any questions about that? All right, and so the selectmen are the ones that do make the appointments, and I will plan on being there to let them know that, you know, we did meet with these two candidates, and actually they both received a unanimous vote from us.
When are they going to meet with them?
The 26th of February.
Okay.
So, all right. So, and I did not have any other old business. I don't think there is any. So moving on to new business. Maureen. Maureen has become a member of the membership subcommittee, and she is going to update us on some things that they are doing, have done, and ask for a few things.
So in
from
your
the committee.
packets, there is a chair job description, there's a subcommittee chair job description, and a board member job description. We met, I think it was the 22nd of January, and went through these. My understanding is that it was in red, but it's not, so.
It
if
didn't
you
get copied
notice-
into red, but it's a little
If
bit
you're on
lighter.
the board member job description on page 2, where it says ensure adequate resources, it says manage resources effectively. We don't manage resources at all, so we believe that that should be deleted. And other than that, we made no changes on the board member. On the chair job
Okay,
description.
wait a minute. You're not doing the Council of Aging rules and regulations, you're doing the memberships, right?
I'm
First
doing
she's-
membership.
Okay.
So,
That's number 2. Number
Oh,
2
I'm sorry.
on the agenda. That's all right.
You want me to
Do
do
them
rules and
individually, or do you
regulations
want-
first?
Yeah, you've started this, it's
All
fine.
right.
We're flexible, I think. Is the board okay with that?
You want to do them individually and vote on them?
We can do them individually and vote on them, or we can vote all at once.
Well, I think there should be an opportunity for questions if somebody has a question about, you know, why the change was recommended. You did mention it. Also, I think in your copies, it's a gray print instead of black.
Correct.
Yeah, so you should be able to find it. It's,
Correct.
you know.
So if we're going to do them individually, I move that we delete manage resources effectively from the board member job description. Needs a second.
second.
Any discussion?
One second.
It's seconded, Mary. Thank you, though. Any discussion? No? Okay, we'll entertain a vote.
Wait a minute.
Once Bob gets a motion down. We also added sub up in, I just spotted that myself because I have the red, it's more obvious. I actively participate in all board activities above it.
Oh,
We just, I don't think really that requires a vote, but as long as you're voting, maybe you need to reword, just voted.
This one here?
no. So on page 2, where it says actively participate in all board activities, it says serve on a, previous to this, it said committee.
Wait a minute.
Okay.
You're going too fast. We haven't voted on the first one. It was moved and seconded, but it hasn't.
No, that's right,
So we got to move on.
Right.
We need to, and that was to remove manages resources effectively.
Correct.
I think that was the only change, right?
no, there was
No,
another
there's one
change.
more change.
That's what's happened. It's just a minor, very minor thing, but in the, above that, Bob, on the second page, where it says actively participate in all board activities,
Oh, serve on a subcommittee.
a
yeah.
subcommittee instead of just committee. It doesn't really, it's not a huge change, it's just clarifying a subcommittee.
Makes a difference in the minute.
Okay.
Moved and seconded, and
So I move that sub be added.
I second.
Okay.
okay, now you can take a vote.
All right. Do Do you want to repeat the motion, just because it has been a little confusing?
I move that we delete manage resources effectively and add serve on a subcommittee as opposed to just leaving committee plain.
Okay. Is there any further discussion or anything? No. Everyone's good on this?
Yep.
Okay.
All those in favor?
All those in favor? Thank you. Aye.
Aye, aye, aye.
Aye, aye, aye.
Mary's just voted.
These are the two she's talking about. Okay.
Are you okay with that, Patty? Okay. All right, we have a unanimous vote. Thank you. Thanks.
Next, we're going to membership subcommittee.
Well, the subcommittee chair job description or the chair job description?
Let's do the subcommittee chair first.
Okay.
We'll just move up the ladder. Members, subcommittee, chair. So,
Excuse me.
we reworded the purpose of the chair of the COA subcommittee so that a board member is appointed by the chair to a board subcommittee. And then the chair will be elected by the subcommittee annually in either August or September after the appointments are done. Then down under key responsibilities, since it already says above, you need to be a board member, we moved that you would delete is a member of the COA board, because you wouldn't be appointed to the subcommittee if you weren't on the board. And then down further, the next to the last one says, reports quarterly or more frequently when necessary to the full COA board on committee decisions, recommendations, and we added activities. I move that we make these changes to the subcommittee chair job description.
I've got two of them, and I know you mentioned more. You mentioned the first one and next to the last.
And then, under key responsibilities, the number 1 is a member of the COA board. We're deleting that because
Yes, I got that.
it's above.
I got that. Okay.
Wait a second.
Now you can wait.
Second.
Now you can wait for me. Seconded to delete
Why don't you just hit me?
is a member of
Everything in red, Bob.
He could probably deal with it.
the board of directors.
In my copy, so that it's easier.
I have everything.
Yeah, mine's red. It's easier for you, Bob. Mine's in red. It's easier to see.
I know. Now, we're removing 1 and 2 on the
No,
first part?
1 and 2 are new.
Okay, and we're adding, okay.
Thank you.
The only thing that we're deleting is the first one under key responsibilities where it says, is a member of the COA board. That is being deleted.
Okay, I know where we are, just give me a minute.
These were sent out to you so that you would have the opportunity actually to look at, if you were confused about the changes, you could
No,
look
I
at
got
what was in
those.
your manual.
I've got those two. You
Okay.
do too.
Good.
It's these two.
They're not huge changes, but it just helps to clarify some things we thought.
You ready?
Oh, okay, now what, the third one was
We need to take a vote on this one too, right? Oh, you're still doing it, okay.
Remove quarterly or more frequently when necessary, or add it.
That's being added.
Reports. Quarterly or more frequently when necessary. Oh, okay.
Add.
At least he was in the building this week.
Thank you, Jean.
Lord.
Add quarterly or more. Okay,
Okay.
yep.
All right. Chair job
Are we
description.
taking a vote on that?
Oh, we didn't vote?
No.
I'm sorry.
I don't think we did.
Okay.
So, any other discussion about this? No? Okay. We'll entertain a motion.
I thought I moved, and Mary seconded.
move.
I
Oh, you
seconded
did.
it.
I lost
I
track
did
of that.
second
I'm
it,
sorry.
yeah.
I lost track of it. I
That's okay.
apologize.
Right?
All right. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right. I think we have a unanimous vote, Bob. Thank you, all. This one's not very confusing. This one's simple.
Oh, good.
So then, on the chair job description, the chair of the COA board, we are adding, shall be ex officio member on all board subcommittees.
Do we have to?
Yes? We do. And that is the only change we made to that one.
All in favor? Are we ready?
Are we ready? Any discussion? No? Make a motion.
I make a motion that we should accept shall be an ex officio member of all board subcommittees. That is the chair job description. Second?
Second.
All those in favor? And I didn't ask for more discussion because I already asked for it, so. But, and also, I will call your attention to the fact that we did change the date. The other job descriptions have the date of July 2015, and that was when, you know, they were first
So we
developed.
could pull those out.
So we're updating, we're putting, because we reviewed
That's
them,
not a
we're
vote, that's
changing the
just a
date.
Mechanical.
No, it isn't. I'm just pointing it out to you, so everybody knows that that's when these were reviewed and changed. All right. Moving on.
So, the table of contents will be changed to reflect the changes and to reflect putting things together with other things that match. It does not need a vote.
No, we are in the process of reorganizing things to make it a more user-friendly manual. So,
Easier to find things.
your membership subcommittee's doing a great
On
job.
the Council of Aging officer and board members, once we've been before the selectmen and the selectmen choose the new board members, then that sheet will be updated.
You know, you don't have to go through the whole manual. Your agendas, the items are on the agenda.
Oh, I'm only going to do the things that are on the agenda. huh?
Yeah,
Okay.
today. The rest doesn't need to be done.
Okay, I have a question.
Yes.
Since you're making the chair ex officio member, does an ex officio member by definition mean that they do not have a vote or they do have a vote?
They do not have
They
a vote.
do not have a vote.
I have been an ex officio member of all the subcommittees since I've been chair, and without a vote. But it was not stated anywhere, and so we decided it was best to clarify that and state it. That chairs should, because if you don't, as the chair, attend some of the meetings at least, you don't have a handle on what's going on. You know, you need that information. The director, our previous experience is the director always attends the subcommittee meetings too. but does not have a vote either. So it's the board members that make up the subcommittee that do.
This must be very confusing. Your first meeting here with all these changes, this is not normal, you know.
Okay. Well, and it all started because we knew we wanted to improve our manuals, and so, one thing at a time. We're not going through everything today here, but
So
you
we're
have
doing
the
rules and
regs.
regulation.
That's correct.
Okay. Article 3, number 1. The COA shall consist of 9 members.
What are you looking at?
I don't have that.
It's a stapled, it's a 4-page document. It's in
And
your
it
manual.
starts out.
I got it.
Okay, everybody got one?
Yep.
It's in your packet.
You got it, Mary?
I'm looking.
Okey doke.
It looks like this,
I don't-
Mary.
Yes.
No, that's not it.
No.
It looks like this, Mary. Maybe you didn't get it.
I was hiding it.
Oh.
Safekeeping.
Okay, so, okay?
Mhm.
3.1, COA shall consist of 9 members instead of 11.
Yes.
I'm going to read all of the changes and then we'll vote, please.
Yep.
On page 3, 5.5, a quorum of at least 5 members shall be necessary and sufficient for the transaction of business at any council meeting, and that is because we should always have an odd number
Mhm.
and not an even number.
Right.
Articles 7-1, at the next scheduled board meeting. And we put next scheduled because Marge brought to my attention that sometimes we don't meet in July.
That's right.
And so we decided to just say, after the election, at the next scheduled board meeting.
In
And
the past
then-
few years, the board has voted to not have a meeting in July, so it just makes it easier and gives a little bit more flexibility.
And other than changing the date on the last page, those are all the changes.
Great, thank you. I make a motion to accept the Council on Aging rules and regulations as depicted in this paperwork.
Oh.
Second.
Any discussion on that?
Yeah, I want you to wait a minute.
We'll wait, Bob. Just so you know, people that have not been on the board, are involved for a while, actually, it had to go to, I think it was town meeting to get this board size changed. It wasn't a simple thing to just reduce the number of members of this board. So that happened a few years ago, actually, since I've been on the board, and I've been on the board for going on my 6th year, I think. My 2nd term is coming up. But for some reason, we just never caught it in the rules and regulations, and so it's just a question of correcting things. So, it's not that we arbitrarily decided we were going to have 9 members. It's not that easy to change the size of a board. So, that's the point. And this just needed to be done.
So did anybody accept it?
Pardon me?
Did anybody accept my?
Yes, we're waiting. Bob asked us to wait.
Bob asked us to wait while he's typing.
So,
And what
Okay.
was it, the next schedule?
do you want I have it,
I can read it, I just need to know what,
I know, but this might help you. It's where the changes are.
confuse me with the facts.
Okay.
Is
Article
that
7,
this coming Thursday?
1, 2, at the,
28.
He's got it.
Oh, boy, yeah, right here.
okay?
Where is it?
Are there any others after the next
No.
scheduled board meeting?
No.
Other than the date
That's
on the
everything.
last page.
So we have 3 things. On the last page,
Well, you have to change the date, and I will
That's-
change that,
that's
yeah.
mechanical.
No, we don't have to vote on that, just,
Okay, so we have three changes. We have the change of the Article 3, 9 members, change Article 5 to 5 members, and change Article
7 more.
11. Yeah. Change Article
I think it's 7.1.
7. Okay, thank you. I didn't have an extra V in there. Okay, change Article 7, 1, 2 at the next scheduled board meeting.
Yep.
Okay. Got it.
okay.
I second the motion.
Thank you. Motion has been made and seconded to make the changes as documented, I believe, are in the paperwork. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, unanimous vote, Bob. All right, thank you. And I do not believe any other, we didn't come across anything else that, the changes that will be made don't have to be voted upon henceforth, so. You won't have to go through this again soon, I hopefully, so. All right. Moving on, we're planning a welcoming tea for our new director with the Friends. Friends and the COA board are together. Going to be having a tea for Liz on February 28th at, I believe the time is going to be 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And I'm asking if any board members would like to be, maybe 2 board members would like to work on a little, committee with the Friends to
Don't
organize
look at this end.
Oh, wow. I know who likes.
You said I put my hands up too much.
Oh, no, I never said that, Mary. Never, ever, never. I would never say that about her. Never. She's such a good cook, and she just has good ideas. But anyway, well, I'm wondering if you'd be collaborating with the Friends, a couple of Friends people.
Okay. And you mean get food and stuff like that together?
It's going to be informal.
Okay.
Nothing formal. It might be fancy. I don't know. The
How
committee will
informal?
decide. How informal?
We're going to have beer?
Oh,
You can come in your shorts.
Not allowed.
Yeah, exactly.
We'd have to find a venue off from the town property, I think.
That's right.
So, anyway,
This is in the mill site?
yeah, it'll be, and I think we're going to have it in the multipurpose room.
Where?
Right. Have
Yeah, in
you
multi-
okayed that there's no activities at 2 o'clock?
Well, we'll have to check that out. Barbara McRae and I have communicated about this, so she's well aware of the date and the time. We were just talking about it this morning. But we just need a few people to kind of collaborate to, see? Mary, thank you.
I unfortunately have another commitment. I will
I
not
know.
be there at all.
Okay, so that's on the 28th.
Sorry.
Can you be there?
Yes.
I just realized, maybe I better check with her to make sure she can be there.
No, it's a Wednesday.
Wait.
It's a Wednesday.
Okay.
The multi-purpose room, I think, is that crafts day?
I don't know, I don't have anything
I
here.
don't know.
Well, we can do that afterwards. We don't need to do that right now. But the point is, and I'll help out with it too.
If it's not on that day, I can probably help out.
If it's not on that day.
If it's not on that day.
It's just
Or if it's
hard
early on
having
that
it.
day.
Wednesdays are the days that usually the room
Okay.
is available, for things.
I will look up the town's calendar.
So,
We have a meeting on the 27th, the day before,
I know,
the awareness
9:30. Yes.
Tuesday.
all right. So, thank you, Mary.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll be in touch with Barbara, and we'll figure out, how we're going to proceed. We'll probably have a brief meeting someday to just kind of plan things a little bit more.
I'll look at my cookbooks.
Okay. Now, it's going to be, finger foods type of things. See, you're getting all dope now on your tea. But no, we really wanted to have an opportunity for people to stop by and meet Liz, but not have it be, a big, huge whatever.
Yeah.
So,
Well, thank
It's
you.
open.
Are you ready for a big laugh?
Nancy, I think it's
When we,
open.
excuse me, somebody talking?
yes, just a minute.
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
I think it's open, yeah.
Okay.
Looks like it's open for the 20th.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes, Mary?
With a sense of humor, when we met our new outreach worker in the multipurpose room, without thinking, as normal, I said to her, "My, you're so young, but don't worry, you'll age rapidly working with the Council on Aging." Wasn't that nice?
Only Mary would do that.
Oh,
great.
afterwards,
Aren't you embarrassed now?
I say this.
I had a full head of hair when I started before.
getting so-
Started with the council.
And
on
I
Aging.
was your age.
Oh,
They're all getting so young when they come in, you know?
Until recently.
All right. And I have on, is any other discussion about the chief? I just really I was trying to have the board involved, because I did approach Barbara McCray on behalf of the board, and we talked about doing this the minute we knew that Liz was on board and coming. So, all right, thank you very much. And then item D under new business is the planning board and selectmen, and that's there. In your packets, toward the end, we have a couple of sheets here that are not reports,
Right here.
to say. But you have a copy of the selectmen's,
Yeah, I did see that too.
yes, their proposed agenda for tonight. And if you look at it, now, earlier Anthony was talking about the alert system. And you know, this came up when I got the alert after Anthony set me up last week. And, you know, look at 7:40 PM.
Town building and space needs.
Establish working group for long and short-term plans. That might be interesting, don't you think? We have a space subcommittee, you know, and I know that's why I'm thinking we need to do, and I've already spoken to the awareness subcommittee. They have a meeting planned to brainstorm on how we can do a better job of being more visible at some of these meetings. You know, the library is always at the Board of Selectmen meeting, I think, practically, most often they're there. But, you know, the planning board meetings, those meetings, their meetings are held the first Thursday of the month. I'm not available on a Thursday evening. However, so we need to do some brainstorming and figuring out how we can get one board member, anyway, somebody at some of these meetings to get information and just
Well,
be
I
there.
can go tonight if you want.
Well, that would be wonderful if you'd like to go. I would,
I'll just knit.
that's good. But you know, I just think it's nice, we need to hear what's going on and just stay
Yeah.
in the loop. So I would encourage you to also, I'm grateful that I have this alert, because, you know, I was trying to remember to go in and look at the agendas, but I forget. You know, and we all have that problem as we get older a little bit. It's like, oh my gosh, if I don't write it in my appointment book, I don't see it to do. And I wasn't that organized. So I would encourage you all to consider getting an alert to maybe the selectmen of the planning board's meetings. The planning board had a great meeting a week. Jamie listened to it, the tape of it, you know, the televised version of it. And, you know, it was information, they were talking about things that perhaps somebody from the COA board should have been present for in the Department of Elder Affairs. So we need to strategize and think about this. We don't need to do it today, but I put it down and I put this in here just to help get this thought out and just to start thinking. And the awareness subcommittee will brainstorm a little bit more about ideas and come back to you. So, Patty, are you feeling like you can go tonight by any chance? No. Mary?
Actually, I have to leave because I'm waiting for his doctor.
Okay. Well, I knew you know, you've been kind of trying to get better. Mary just said she'll go, though.
I'll go.
Okay? So,
Marge,
thank you.
through you to Joe. Joe, is there anything new on the plans for the space analysis from the last board meeting, Selectmen's Board meeting?
Anthony can speak to this also. The plans are right now, we have the report back that came, that took a long time to get.
Right.
We have that. What we plan to do right now is to form another committee that will include every board, so the COA will be included when they ask a member from the COA and the director to be there, the library, the head of the library, the park and rec and so forth, all the way down, so everyone is represented. And I'm glad you brought this up, because I was going to point out later on, I think it's imperative for the COAs that sometimes these committees get drawn out because you're making real good long-term plans for the whole town. So you have a need that's right now. So I would encourage you often, maybe even at the meeting, to make that statement. We want to plan for the future, be part of those plans, but in the meantime, is there a short-term solution that we can gain you space? And I think that we've been talking informally, different members in the last week, about possibilities that might actually happen that could be temporary, that would take away some of the problems you have now, while still planning for the big future of maybe having something big with the library included and things like that. But I think it's very important that you let the Board of Selectmen, let the townspeople know that you do have a need that's probably a lot more important than some other, I hate to say other services, but it is true. Like Anthony will be representing the main part of the building and the space needs that they need. So in the long term, everyone's going to be included, but once again, I think it's important that you let your voice out and say, no, we need the space now, let's try to solve something right now.
Didn't the town pay for a space committee done on this building already?
There was a whole report down, it was broken into this building, broken into including a possible little library, or maybe buying something away from here. There's all kinds of different possibilities that are there. It was wide scoped. As Anthony will probably tell you, we probably didn't spend enough money to get them more detail.
Right.
But it's a start, and this committee that's being formed is going to be extremely important. And the other part of that is too is what can we afford to do? I mean, I got my tax bill, it went up quite a bit from the last year. We just can't go out and start buying things without doing a lot of careful planning. So
No.
30,000 sticks in my mind. I don't know why I think that was the figure for here. I'm just
30,000.
guessing.
what price?
30,000 for this space.
That was just the report.
That was just a
That's
report?
the report was up to 50,000. You're talking, if you go by some of the plans, Anthony, you can give the figures too. I think that anywhere between 22 million and 26
Oh,
million.
no, I wasn't, no.
Yeah, if you go by the complete different
No,
plans
not
they put
that.
together. That's why it's important, I think, that you say, those plans are good, and let's look at stuff, but you need some room right now.
Joey, were you satisfied with the detail about, I read it and I thought it was awful. I'm sorry. They gave us nothing in terms of what in particular they were talking about for different departments and so forth and so on. How can they make any decisions based on that report?
Well, all I can do is say it was a start, and I think you'd have almost everyone agree with the statement that you just made. It's not what we had planned. I know talking to Anthony for months and months, hoping what we're gonna be was a lot more comprehensive. It's too widespread right now. It's not enough details.
It was very frustrating.
It's a large project, so the study was, only $50,000. I know that's a lot of money, but when you talk about a potential what a project like this would be in the vicinity of, say, $25, $27 million, normally 10% is towards architect's fees. So, you can see that we paid for the really, 30,000-foot view of our issue. It identified something, but it identified that we need to do more work is what it really helped us. So I think forming the committee, and like Selectman Knox said, that we're going to look at a long-term, we're going to try to come up with long-term solutions, but we also realize that those solutions, even the best-case scenario is years down the road, year, maybe two, so we need to look at the short term. What do we have to do in the short term to help ease our space needs? throughout all various departments. So I think the committee will, look to the big plan, but let's deal with some of the issues, like Selectman Knox said, that are facing us right now, and we know space is real difficult, and the selectmen really want to make sure that the short term, we come up with some kind of solution.
Anthony, I totally agree with you, but the problem is that we who have sat on this board, have been sitting on this board for the last 12 years, have been hearing the same thing, and it's now 12 years later, and we're no better off than we were when we started. And it just total frustration.
And I understand, Bob, and I feel that, but I think the selectmen now are really making not that they haven't in the past, but I think this committee and reporting back to the selectmen, it's a priority for them. It's really figure this out.
You've done well by us for the last couple of years. We can't complain too much. Not as voraciously as we would have before. But.
So we'll pay for another study.
No.
If I might, Bob, I understand the frustration, because I've been in the board the whole time you're talking there.
I know.
I don't take a blame for that. It was always seen to be put off, oh, we don't have enough funding, and that was a mistake. I think the current board, as seated, sees it. The feeling is much different right now than it has been in the past, that we see it as a priority and not something we got to do in 5 years because this is coming first.
But all the more reason why we need to be a part of this, and we need to be there and to speak up. So even if it's one board member, but you're willing to just remind them in a nice way that.
I will try and get there.
So if you, and people can do it, it's, and it's gonna be an ongoing thing, it's not just one meeting. We need to pay attention to their agendas.
I have a meeting.
And, yeah, and then get in bring the feedback to the board, but also pay attention to the agendas, because as a group, we can help each other to make sure we're there. But, one person alone can't always pay attention to everything, and we'll miss things. So I'm just asking for everybody to kind of be more aware of the need for both the planning board and the selectmen, those two groups. There's a lot going on with the planning board as far as senior housing goes, too. So, we need to just pay attention. So, we've wanted this. We've been waiting for this to happen, so now's the time. Okay. Moving on, but that's why the planning board and the selectmen were on the agenda, please. Thank you. In your packet, real quickly, this was not written in. I just received this actually recently, and it is most of the board, all the board members are aware that Emmett does the training, and I put this in your packet so you would see it. Came out from Emmett. He's doing a training right in Acton on February 23rd. Oh, yeah, so at the Acton COA. And these training sessions, I've gone to one a year. I'll point out also, remind people that it does cover you, because your job description says you will attend at least one educational event a year of our seniors. And that serves the purpose of, being one educational event, because he always has new information. Always, always, always. I've never been bored. He's a great presenter.
He is.
He's approachable. He's very likable. So there are two here, and he also says, that one's in Marlborough. That isn't very far either. So I just wanted you to know about it, and if you choose to go, let your.
Do we know if they still have availability?
You'll have to call. I just received this myself.
It just came
Yeah.
Bob,
Yeah.
last couple
See, I
days.
can't do the other one because I'm having surgery.
There'll be others
remember
coming
you
too.
went with, and I went with you. Was that Hudson? Was that last year?
There was a Clinton
I don't know what, it was more than a year ago.
Was it?
2 years
Yeah.
ago.
Need to get
We
out
did
though.
one in
There'll be
Kingsborough
others.
last
All
year.
right. There'll be
Oh, I
others
didn't
coming
know that.
along.
No, but we went to Clinton where they had that beautiful
Clinton,
old building.
right.
Okay.
Right, that land was donated by the
All right.
doctor. for
Can
that
we move
building.
along,
Remember that?
please? Can we move along?
Yes.
Yeah, please. Thank you. Okay. So I think that covers us for new business. And we do not have Tina here, but she very kindly and thoroughly prepared her report, and it's in your packet. Her outreach report. I can't speak for her as far as, you know, answering questions about the report, but she did get it to us, and I did put it, it's two-sided, so be aware of that. There's nothing on the back on this one. No, nothing filled in.
It's probably because this stuff's more related to what she's
Yeah, okay.
responsible for.
So, sorry.
Yeah.
Excuse me. So, I will not elaborate about that, but that is, and then Nicole sent me an email this morning when she realized that she had some reasons that she had to leave work early today. And so she did, I'll read you, she sent me a little report that she was going to come. She was going to be here and come, but then things changed. So she has down here on February 15th, 3 to 5, a heat health panel and food demonstration in honor of Heart Month in the Senior Diner with Neshoba Valley Hospital, River Court Residences, and the Littleton Business Association will be going on.
What was it again?
You have it in your,
I didn't put it in their
Oh.
packets. No, I
we
didn't.
can send this to you.
Yeah, I'll send
We'll
it
send
out.
it to you.
I just got it this morning.
Yeah.
So why don't I do that? It'll be
Yeah.
easier than reading it all. But she has highlighted some events and things that will be happening in February, a couple of other things in February, and then in March, she mentions 2 things. So I'll send it out.
Okay.
So, just write myself a note. I don't forget. Okay. That takes care of the outreach coordinators, and I jumped ahead of Jamie. I'm going to let Jamie go, Bob, and then will you wrap up the reports? Okay.
Busy couple months. I feel, again, I thank you for the opportunity to be working with all of you. It's been really a lot of fun for me and to get to know you all. The first thing I want to say is that I think your staff, I'm not including me in this, I'm talking about Tina and Nicole, do an exceptional job. They just do. They really do. They go the extra mile. They know their stuff. Their hearts are in a good place, and they treat people with the dignity and respect they deserve. But let me tell you also, we've just been generally busy in the department. We have 2 new van drivers starting. Well, they've gone through the first phase of their training with MART. They will be trained again with the second phase this coming Friday. Liz and I will talk about when we can get them to shadow some of our current drivers, which means that, and Bob, this kind of goes to what you asked me the other day, we've been at a disadvantage since sometime in December, early December, of not having as many drivers and vehicles as we would like to have on the road, but we couldn't do what we couldn't do. You know, all you can do is the best you can do. So we're looking forward to that. I have been in touch with the insurance company and trying to figure out about our new van and having it fixed. There's some negotiating that's going on right now, but we're on top of it.
How bad was it?
Well, it's...
Was it enough to consider total?
No.
Oh,
No.
okay.
No.
Never mind.
But we're negotiating some of, the original insurance report, and when I got some additional information from the company that sold us the retrofitted van, they spoke to the factory and they had a different opinion about some things that needed to happen. So it's being negotiated, but it will be fixed. I met with the current van drivers within the last month. Actually, I see them quite often, but I invited them to a meeting to hear about, some of their concerns and the things that they go through every day, and I made my recommendations to them. We've been having ongoing discussions with Crosstown Connect, who does our dispatching, and Liz and I will also talk thoroughly about how we can maybe make it more efficient and easier for people, both. We do have a dispatcher that we do pay. He's been great and very helpful in helping me to get the information I needed to complete all the MART reports for the last several months. Yay! All of them are done, I'm waiting for approval for December, but then we're on top of it, and we'll do January together, meaning Liz and I. The formula grant has been completed, the budget has been completed, Emmett has it. As you know, that is it's based on a 2010 census. We're stuck with what, there was 1,700 and something older adults in this community, and I believe it was based on $9.70 per head. So it comes out to a little over $17,000. I just can't remember it, but the paperwork's in.
Excuse me, Jamie, you
Yes.
say that it's been completed, you have completed it and presented it so that it can be dealt with by the higher up?
It went to Executive Office of Elder Affairs, okay? We have been looking at policies and procedures and daily operational work plan, but that's an ongoing process, and I have some thoughts to share with Liz that Anthony had asked me to be thinking about, and, you know, you guys will be the ultimate decision makers. Liz will make proposals, as she's the one responsible for daily operations, but we'll certainly let you know if things change. The broadcaster, I know my buddy over here is like, yay, 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 but they, the people that print it, that we do not pay for, gets paid for by the ads that they sell, but they have offered us at no cost to us, to start adding more color to at least the first, second, and maybe last page. I don't remember.
Nice.
Nicole has done a marvelous job, and she works with a wonderful volunteer, Nancy, who does the editing, who's also been in touch with the people that are responsible for the printing. So let's see how the March issue comes out. Again, I didn't want to authorize or recommend great changes, because I think Liz needs to take a look at it and see from a formatting perspective, and we knew she was coming, so, you know, we're moving ahead, but she may have some other thoughts about that. The office has undergone a facelift. There's been new paint and new blinds, and the outer office will be painted momentarily, so we're sprucing up a little bit, and Anthony has approved ordering a new desk for Liz and a few other things. This is a guy that gets it done, right? What'd you tell me?
You're gonna miss that, huh?
Yeah, I will miss that. Cleanup of the department space is underway. We're looking forward to purchasing some needed furniture. For example, sturdier tables in the, what is it, 230, room 230?
30.
We recognize that you only have, you know, a couple of rooms that are considered your center, and that some of the clutter, et cetera, is only because we don't have places to put things. But we're working on it, okay? So to make it more user-friendly, and to also maybe look at, with Liz, you know, scheduling, programming, et cetera. So it's underway. I have met with cable at Kirby had asked me, as well as Barbara McCray, to talk about what we were just talking about, you know, like education about what we do, and not making recommendations, but people don't necessarily know what you do until you tell them, you know. And we are a multi-service human service agency in a municipality, and there's no other department in any municipality that I know of that operates exactly this way. So it's it's helping people to really understand what we do. And that doesn't happen with explaining it once. And Anthony is sick of hearing me say it, but you have to say it, explain it, explain it, explain it. And I know that from also building a building, you know, and going through that process, what it takes and whatever. And we've begun our information gathering for the annual report, which will make Anthony happy. So it's been busy. That's just a snapshot of some of the things we've been working on. Okay. I have a question Yes, with ma'am. regard to, I understand that Liz is getting I want to say an associate, but assistant. And there's some discussion about a new room being made.
I don't, are you trying, Anthony had looked at our need for some additional help in the office.
Okay.
Okay, more consistent help, and if he can arrange it, you know, we may be able to have somebody that could even then take over some of the, maybe help Liz with
Paperwork.
transportation. And some of the administrative stuff. Because I know that you don't have a lot of space, but don't forget, this division does not operate in these walls. Do you know what I mean? We're out there, and that's what you want.
So, yeah, we proposed adding a part-time position for next fiscal year.
That was out of the stuff from Minuteman, what do they call it?
Formula grant? No.
The formula grant, yeah.
Formula.
That was coming out of the formula.
It may come out of that. That's to be determined how
Yeah.
it gets paid for. But I think it's not because Anthony's sitting here, because I'm honest with Anthony and I'm honest with all of you. There are some things I might be politically correct enough to not say if I didn't agree with certain things. But Anthony really is trying very, very hard to really understand what this division does and to try to help move us forward even in the space we have. I think I didn't understand, but now I understand what you were asking, Maureen. We've always been looking at, this is before me and in my time here, how we can get Nicole and Tina closer in terms of, but that would not mean taking away any space. It would be maybe reconfiguring space, but that's a,
Knock a wall down.
well, who knows? But, I mean, that's been discussed well before I got here. This is since you had a second outreach person, is how we can make that come together more efficiently for the two of them, too. So, but nothing.
No, I had heard that the room that the social club meets in was going to lose part of its space for adjoining office. I don't know if that's correct, but that was what I heard.
Well, I could just, and Anthony, if I'm wrong about this, it wouldn't be, if that were the case, it wouldn't be removing the space. The social club would have the same amount of space. It may be cleaning up what's in back of the petitions, you know, and just moving things down a little bit, but they would not be moving. Am I correct? They would not be
Right.
losing any space.
Right, no.
At all.
No. You know, that's why we've tried to do a little sprucing up of the area over there and cleaning up and try to just make better use of the space that we have. You know, even over here in the selectman's office, town administrator's office, we were able to move some file cabinets around and really look at our own space, and we picked up a conference room just by, you know, seeing what we can do to free up some space. So if we can do something like that, maybe there's a
Just a
possibility.
reconfiguring.
Certainly, we're not going to take any space away from the center. It's just it won't happen. But let's better use that space that we have. We don't have a lot of space to store a lot of stuff. So
Right.
you know, is there
Which
stuff
is a
that,
real problem.
Yeah. So you know, we have to take a look. You know, everybody's got to do. It's going to be springtime soon. Maybe we need a little spring cleaning.
And you know, I had said to Anthony, I know that in my past life, we had some carts that rolled that we put things like some of our exercise equipment, because we had it throughout the center, meaning exercise programs. But I was saying you could do that with some of the knitting stuff. It wouldn't be throwing it out. It would be putting it in something other than shoving it on a shelf, for example. Maybe. But I wouldn't be removing, Anthony has never said to me that he would be approving of taking away what you already need more of. Yeah. Is that well put, or I hope?
Yes.
Thank you. Yeah, there's lots of rumors going around, and I can just,
Well, and if you don't ask the appropriate people at the appropriate place, this is the place to ask them.
Yes.
That's right.
and
Yes,
sometimes, too, people misconstrue and misunderstand, and so always, you know, what you hear, take with a grain of salt until you find out differently, so, yep. So-
Liz,
Yes.
after getting her report, do you still want to be director?
Absolutely.
She's
gonna be great.
That was a whopper.
She's gonna be great.
I love that there's a lot going on.
She'll never be bored.
Never be bored at all.
No, she will definitely.
That was amazing.
Thank you, Jamie.
Thank you.
No,
May I
thank you
add,
very much.
for Tina's report before we close, Tina was a guest of honor speaker at January Sodality meeting at St. Anne's. And ever since then, I have met people that attended that have been praising the council and Tina's appearance and information. It came across real well.
Yeah.
Well, that was nice, I'm glad she
Because
did that.
many, not all the seniors come here
Right,
to the
it's true.
senior. And this way, that was one way of getting out and aware of what's going on.
Thank you, Mary, and I heard positive things too, and also I had forgotten to say that Barbara had been invited, was it Rotary, some
Rotary, I
meeting,
think
what,
it was.
Rotary, and
Public
also
Rotary.
people were like, but that's what I mean, that,
Yes,
that it has to be
publicity.
said
Yeah.
over and over again, because and I know that we serve people that are under 60. It may be our biggest cohort is 60 and over, but people don't really understand what you do until they hear it many times and/or need it, right, Liz? Yeah.
Multi-faceted.
It's a mixed bag of ages, you know.
It's, you know what, your senior population, your 60 and over is a multi-generational group in itself.
What is Littleton, 9,000? It must be more than that now.
The total census, what is that, like 8 or 9?
Probably 95, 96.
Yeah.
And
growing.
your 2010 census for your older, the people 60 and over was 17, something like
Oh, that's
1750.
changed.
Yeah. I'm sure if we asked Diane,
creeping up and
it
up
probably
and up.
has gone up.
And the
Yeah.
projections are for even more.
Absolutely.
So, thank you. Thank you
you.
again. Bob, for the first time, we've had copies of these reports in our packets. So, thank you.
Okay, there's nothing spectacular in here. We haven't been spending a lot of money, obviously, if you look at the office report. Just some things from recreation, there's plenty of money left in terms of the other kind of things. So that report is pretty much on its own. The Mott report, as Jamie pointed out, if you look at the monthly riders, they went from 558 in November to 414 in December to 302 in January. And obviously, it's been over 500 for the last year. A part of that was the accident, a part of it was bad weather and so forth. And we, one of the questions I raised with Jamie was if we need to find out whether we're including the people who were offered private rides by people in the COA to get to places when we didn't have the vans available.
That would not be in the MART
It
report.
would be in the
Bob.
MART report.
No.
But it was, I know of a couple of people that
Yes.
did that who normally would ride the van because they didn't have the vans to do it. So there may be an adjustment there, but that's the reason for the difference in numbers. Other than that, nothing spectacular.
Thanks, Bob.
Thank you. All right. Is there any other business to come before the board
We'll accept the reports.
after we move to accept reports and vote?
I move that we accept the reports as given.
Second.
Second.
Any other discussion about the reports? Learning Maureen.
I have a couple of comments.
Yes.
First of all, I would like to express my appreciation, though James is going to be here for a little while helping out, to express the help with the transition with her and getting us to the point where we didn't lose much, but we gained a lot, and that was very, very important. And the second thing is, to Anthony, who has hung in there with us, don't know why he ever did it. but, and putting it together. I don't know if you're not involved in the everyday of what goes on around here, how much difference they have made in terms of keeping us on the ball and keeping us moving forward. It has been obviously a very difficult transitional period for many people, and it has just worked out. And I'm just so pleased that you're here, Liz. Now we can all throw it at you. But seriously, it's been a blessed transition because of you two, and Nicole and Tina, and we've been able to get through it. We've been able to move on, and I think that's very important that it needs to be said to you. And thank you very,
Thank
very
you.
much.
That's very sweet. Thank you.
Anthony will be joining us in a few years, so he's working on getting these things in place, right?
That's right.
I mean,
Do you even live in this town?
Don't.
We don't we help anybody that needs help, right? Right, Liz?
But see, they are all getting to know Littleton a lot better.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, but you know, I need to echo too, because as you were speaking, Bob was speaking, I thought how Nicole was new. She had hardly been here when all this happened, and so that was really hard, I think, on her too. You know, but boy, she's weathered the storm, and
Yes,
she's been a
they've been-
huge help. So
Yeah. We have a
huge
great
help.
team. We have a great team
We do.
here.
Great people.
The addition of Liz is just strengthens the strong team that we have in
So-
town, so.
And we're on the move.
Yes, you are.
That's right.
That's why we have to get out there. So. All right. I do not
I
take.
move that we close the meeting.
She's not fooling around.
No, she's not. I'm like, okay, wait a minute. They keep me all on track. Have you noticed? Yeah. So-
Needs a second.
Second it. Okay. Have a motion and have a motion to adjourn the meeting.
I second it.
And all those in favor?
Say
Aye. And
Are you trying to get me to learn how
unanimous?
to do this?
No, but I don't want anyone to leave. Because,
Oh, geez.
yes, would you flip the switch though, since we're officially adjourned?